Hello, my friends. Welcome to our, I was going to say guided run, but Camilla suggested together run. I think that works a lot better. Guided run suggests it is me telling you form cues and things like that, which I'm not going to be doing. This is just the closest you and I could get to running together. You are going to go for a run with me. I'm going to help you take in your surroundings as well. And I'm excited that you are going to be joining me. So, as weird as this sounds, I guess I will pass it over to me and we will begin this guided run together. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hi, friends. Guided / together run. Thank you, Camilla, for that name suggestion. I was blown away by how much you enjoyed this. Thank you so much to every one of you who reached out to me, who shared a screenshot. If you put a picture of you doing it, oh my God, you made me so happy. So I loved hearing this, that you enjoyed it. And let's make this an every other week thing. I really want to do it. I loved the idea that I was running with you. I've got a beautiful morning here for me. You probably hear the birds. It's a nice sunny morning. It's a little bit cold, but that's okay. So I'm going to try and make this a little less clunky today. Probably not because it's me, but we will begin with some thinking, reflecting on how our body feels, how our mind feels, some more meditation-y style. And then, I will try and give you a bit more space this time. Although, as I said to a few people, when I say, okay, I'll give you some time, it feels like I'm giving you 5 minutes, but I know in many situations it was only 5 seconds. But I really love doing this. And so I am going to give you that, take your feedback, try and listen to it. And then the second half, we will maybe talk about some topics. I would love for you to submit things that I can talk about. That would be really fun. And if I can answer your questions, make this more of a Tina for real. We'll make this an every other thing that we can go on a run together. Maybe I could even step it up to once a week, although that's a lot for me, because obviously it depends on the weather. I can't have it be windy. I've got to find the right time and everything. So I'm going to commit to every other week. Look at that, you can hear some church bells. And then we'll see where we go from there. I'm hoping I can hit the lights so that I don't have to stop for traffic, but I've tried to pick as quiet of a route as I can. Maybe even at some point we can do where I run from my house so you can hear what that sounds like. And then I would love to make some of these be workouts together, which I think would be really fun. I'm going to get going. Are you ready to begin? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. I see a bunny. Must be spring. Okay. All right, friends. Well, welcome to this together run, guided run. Some people said that guided run sounded a bit more like I should be telling you form cues and technique stuff. But to me, I don't know. To me, guided run is just me talking to you. But I'm willing to listen to your recommendations there. So let's just call it a together run. All right. So let's begin. We are off. And we're going to take the first few minutes to think about how we're feeling. So, as with last time, we'll give you a bit more space this time. But for someone who hasn't done this before, we're going to start at the top. You're going to work your way down. Someone, maybe it was Ashton, said she laughed when I said about feeling your head. I can't remember what my comment was, but you're going to work your way down your body, seeing how things feel, see what feels tight, see what feels good. And then we'll check in later in the run and see how you feel. If you are, I'll give a 30-minute check-in for the 30-minute group and a 45-minute check-in for the 45. Although on that note, I'd love to hear, are those timings okay? What would be your recommendations for run distances or times you would say? For me, most of my runs end up being around 45 to 55, but I think 45 is quite a common amount of time. So let's get back to the point and start. So work your way down through your head, between your eyes, your mouth. Your mouth shouldn't be moving like mine is. So how's that feel? Do you feel tightness in your jaw? Can you relax your jaw? How about your neck? Your muscles in your neck and around the front, in your shoulders, your arms, in your torso, in your stomach, in your pelvis, in your upper legs, in your lower legs, and into your ankles and your feet. I don't want to go through it that fast, but why don't we take some time together this time and just work our way through it. So let's start at the top and just work your way through your body, scan down, see how you are feeling, and we'll check back in a few minutes and maybe we can reflect from there. So let's just take that time to scan. I'll do it with you. Still giving you a bit more time, even though for me this feels like 3 minutes already. All right, I think that's enough time. You have to confirm to me if I'm giving you adequate or too much now. So, where was some tightness in you? Tight spots in you? For me, I actually feel pretty good. I took a week off after my trail race and then ran 2 days, one in the trail, one just to stroll around to the library and back. And then I took another day because it was snowing yesterday and I didn't feel like that. And yeah, mostly good. Maybe a little bit just rusty, if that's the right word, but otherwise I'm feeling okay. What about you? What areas for you are morning? What areas for you are feeling okay? Oh, I have a shirtless dude with music coming towards me, so I'm just gonna let him pass. Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, well, there you go. Apparently it wasn't this shirtless dude with music, it was a shirtless dude singing. That's the fun things you see, huh? Alright. That was not what I expected to see. So, any areas that are tight for you, make a mental note and we'll check back in with them later in the run. See if you notice any of the spots feel better, if any of them feel tight, if there's any sore spots. We'll check back in. Now, coming up to a street, so once we cross over that, I'll begin the kind of observation phase of our run. So we'll start that in just a second, but I don't want to start that when I'm going to cross the street. I do want to apologise if you can hear my key clicking. It's making a jingly noise and I've already moved it once, but I guess that's just part of the run. But we're going to get across the street and then we'll begin an observation phase, paying attention to what we feel within our bodies, within our senses, and then we'll check in with our minds afterwards. And then we'll have some conversational pieces. No idea where I'm going with that. We'll just see what comes up in my head. As we know, running brings out weird thoughts. So we'll see where we get on. All right, friends. Okay, let's begin with, let's start with the easy one. What do you taste? What do you taste right now? I taste my toothpaste. Taste I always struggle with. I find that I can't really taste things very much unless it's been something very strong. But yeah, taste. Take a nice deep breath. What do you smell? I, again, just smell that like outdoorsy, naturey smell. I'm going near to some kind of industrial thing, so I would have thought I could smell something there, but I can't. What do you smell? Take that deep breath. Okay. What do you hear? You're going to obviously hear a lot of my sounds, hear my footsteps, hear the birds, hear the cars, hear my breathing. What else do you hear? Pause the recording for a minute and come back to me with what you can hear in your surroundings. Or if not, remove your headphones. Let's just do it now. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Okay, let's go next. What do you feel? I apologize, friends. I just reset my watch yesterday and to factory settings, and it is all my settings are gone. And so that was the one thing I tell you not to do, which is have mile marker beeps. So please don't judge me for this. I need to reset my settings, and I'm sorry it's going to keep beeping. But there we are. All right. What do you... Did we say see? Yeah. What do we see? I see green all around, and it makes me so happy to see spring is here, to see beautiful pink blossoms. I see pines, different shade of green. I see little pine sticks, the pine needles that have fallen off. I see little purple flowers. I see squirrels. I see a cardinal, nice bright red cardinal. I see a beautiful blue sky. I see power lines, maybe something I wouldn't rather see. I see some snow because it snowed here yesterday, 71 day Fahrenheit, snowing and below freezing the next. It was strange. I see the nice five-fingered looking leaves. I love those. I see cement. I see yellow lines. I see bushes. I see a stop sign. I see a person in the distance. I see a car, houses. All right, what about you? Again, I'm going to pause in just a minute and let you think about what's around you. Pay attention. What do you see in your world? See if you can notice something that you've never noticed before, even if it's a run you've done often. All right. What do you feel? This is my favorite one to do because as beautiful as life can be, as nature can be, I think feel is the one I take for granted the most, and it's the one that keeps us present the most. So let's work through that. I'm just going to start from the bottom this time. Feel my feet in my shoes, my feet touching my socks, my feet in my shoes. Feel the part of the front of my shoe touching the front of my leg. I feel my knees just slightly touching as they pass. I feel my shorts bouncing slightly on my thighs. I feel my key bouncing on my back. Feel my shirt touching my arms, where it cuts in a little bit at the wrist. Feel my phone in my hand. I feel the cold air on my fingers. Feel my fingers touching. I feel sunglasses on my face. Feel a little bit of cold air on my face. Feel a little bit of aching in my shoulders. Maybe I'm holding myself a bit stiff because of this, holding my phone. Feel my hair bouncing. Right, that's me. I'm going to again give you a moment to pause. What do you feel? Anything you think you didn't notice or wouldn't notice had I not asked you to do that? Quite often in our runs we get into this thinking mode, which is good. You know, it helps us process things, but also makes us just pass the time with the run rather than being in it, being aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I'm hoping the last run we did together, you were thinking a bit more about how your body was feeling rather than it being just a get it done kind of thing. Was there anything else that stood out to you that you otherwise would have never noticed? And finally, let's work through our mind. How are we feeling? At the time of me recording this, Derek Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 counts of murder. I feel relief. It was weighing heavily on my heart, just knowing the implications of what that would be. The fact that we even had to question whether that he would be found guilty. So I feel a lot of relief there. I also feel quite just not overwhelmed, but aware of how far we have to go to make things fair. So that's very much on my mind. And I don't want these to be political things by any means, but I'm being honest, you know, and that is what's on my heart. Feeling Steve's off today, so we're gonna do something together. We try and do that as often as we can, and I'm excited for that. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm just, I guess, grateful for being here with you, for being able to do this, the ability for us to be so far apart and yet feel we can be together. And I loved that this was received so well. I think a lot of that is because we're craving that. A lot of podcasts are churning out a lot of shows right now, including me. I have 2 shows, but sometimes we need something different, and I'm excited that I found a way for us to connect and have that in a different way to an interview or learning. Right, so just want to take a minute to thank Beam for allowing me the ability to do this. Well, to do this, but supporting me in this. I've been working with Beam now a few months, kept it quiet a few months Oh no, I've been working with Beam about 4 months. Kept it quiet a few months because I wanted to make sure I was comfortable, and I love hearing that you trust me and that you listen to my suggestions, because you know I don't say about anything. I really do interrogate the companies, and I have been with Beam. But I'm excited to tell you about Beam Elevate today, which is the one that I took in my trail marathon. I had 2 servings of it within the race, had them in my bottles. The flavour is watermelon for the hydration performance. There's 3 purposes. One is balance, one is recover, one is perform. Obviously use the perform, but I did take the recover immediately after my race. But yeah, so I want to talk about the perform one. It has electrolytes, has beetroot, which obviously helps you in that moment to deal with the demands you're putting on your body. And it has 30 milligrams of caffeine, so just a nice little hit, not too much. And yeah, it helps you to get that hydration in. I was not dehydrated, well, I'm sure I was a little bit dehydrated, but nowhere near what I had been in the past. I just felt good, so I'm really enjoying these Beam Elevate hydration mixes. Put them in some water, give it a shake, and then drink it down. The flavour for the perform is watermelon, and those of you who know me well know that I've never really been a watermelon fan, but somehow, as they call him, their wacky scientist, he's made it taste good. I actually like the taste of it. It does not taste like Jolly Rancher watermelons, which I know some, but to me, I cannot think of a more repulsive flavour than Jolly Rancher watermelon. Ugh. So, long story short, they taste good. And you can use code TINA for 15% off your order, or 20% off if you sign up for a subscription. It's code TINA at beamtlc.com. beamtlc.com. Use code TINA. Don't stop your run now. Let's stay together. And I'll put a swipe up or a link in the show notes here for you to do that. Unfortunately, I'm coming up to a road that does not look good, so we may have to stop and wait for a clear moment. Oh, scratch that. Made it across. Good. Oh, good. Feel better now. It really stresses me out coming to those lights, especially as there was people standing there, and I didn't want them to be wondering. Remember last time I talked about my balled up rat, which is my microphone, which apparently Chip told me is called a dead cat, which doesn't really sound nice, but yeah, I'm talking to myself at a stop sign, not quite confident enough to be able to feel good doing that yet. Okay, so we're coming up on the halfway point for the 45-minute group. 30-minute group, you're just over 10 minutes. That's all. So we're gonna just chat a little bit. I'd love for you to suggest some things for me to talk about. And you can ask a question. You know, I don't even care this time if it's one of the questions I usually joke about, like, what do you eat for breakfast? Or what's your favourite workout, whatever. Like, happy to answer those kind of things. Happy to answer life things. Oh my god, there's a dead duck. Don't like seeing that. I feel like that's going to be where my direction is going to go. Seeing a dead duck. Whew, that's not nice. But yes, so happy to answer whatever you may have. Morning. Of questions. So we're going to turn around in just a minute and a half, or I'm going to turn around in a minute and a half for the 45-minute group. Okay, so what can we talk about? See, what's jumping to mind for me is just the fact that I'm alive. I just saw a dead animal I don't like seeing dead animals. Upsetting. Could easily go off on an environmental tangent and tell you about things that obsess my mind all day, every day. Instead, I would love, if you haven't already, for you to go listen to the 5th episode of Running Realised, which is about running shoes. I also put it in my Running for Real feed, so if you subscribed here, you can go listen to it there. And I'm going to shelve that for now. But what can I tell you about? Well, I can tell you that I've been thinking a lot lately about the fact that me running, going into the trails was a way for me to just do something that wasn't going to require comparison. Because being totally honest with you, even when I went into the Disney half marathon, even though I said I didn't have pressure on me, I did. And I was really disappointed with the time that I ran that day. Not that it was about time, and not that I was trying to go for personal best, but I was upset that it wasn't even close to where I felt I was. And it got me thinking after Chloe that I have to find a way to keep that joy in there. And doing it in the trails is there something so different to me, but also something that is comfortable, familiar to me, in that I know cross country, I know I'm good at things like that, and I like it. Now there's an element of me that still feels a bit of an imposter in there. I know that sounds crazy, especially as I won my first race, but the next few days later I had my ultra team phone call with all the ultra elite athletes, and there was all these experienced trail runners in there. I really hope none of them are listening to this. Doubt they are. There's all these experienced trail runners who have won some of the best known races in the world, the most competitive trail races in the world, with 100 milers. It's that duck again. Ugh. Sorry, duck. Have 100 milers. And when our team leader had me talk about, I was just getting some time to talk about my stuff. I talked about my trail marathon because he said, she just won and it's exciting. And I said to the group, it was really great to run it, to feel good, and then to win it. But then I immediately said afterwards, but it was only a small local race. It was like I kind of disqualified my win, discounted it because it was a local race. But why did I do that? Why could I not own it? I felt the need in front of these accomplished people to say what I did isn't good enough, or what I did wasn't in fact a success. And yes, there is the element of that, of saying that it wasn't about the success, and it wasn't. For me, it was about being in the moment, about the joy. And actually, I emailed Mike Gervais a few days ago, and I told him, and he was like, "That's amazing, I'm so happy for you." He did also say, you can also get that experience washing dishes, which is funny. I'm a long way from being in the moment washing dishes. But anyway, me doing that by discounting myself and, making it seem less than in front of these men, who are men and women, but there's a lot of men who I don't know, who don't know me. And it's something I used to do as an elite all the time. Like if I cooled down with Molly Huddle, I would say, well, I'm not as fast as you, or tell me if I'm running too slow for you, you can go ahead. And the reason I bring that up, sorry to the 30-minute group, you're not going to get much of this conversation, you'll just have to keep listening. The reason I bring this up is because I bet you do it too. Or if you didn't, or if you don't now, you did. Because we always do it, don't we? I don't know what it is, some kind of like, because things are going well, or because we did well in our own version of what that is, we feel like we need to, I don't know, bring it down for others. See, I don't really understand why it is. Maybe I should ask Evie about why that is. My sports psychologist and a dear friend. But yeah, we do that, don't we? We kind of say, well, if I'm too fast for you, you can go ahead. If I'm too slow for you, you can go ahead. Or we say, I'm only this. I won my age group, but I only won it because of this. Why do we do that? Ken Johnson, superstar. If you're listening, you can totally tell us why. But it's just something I've been thinking about a lot. And I thought I'd come a long way in letting go of results and that side of me. But that response, the way I did that, put me right back in where I was before. And I'm going to continue talking about this in just a minute, but I want to, for the 30-minute group, if you are going to stop here, I want you to just either pause the recording, take this final minute to reflect on how your body's feeling, see if there's a difference between how you felt at the beginning, how you feel now. Take a look at your surroundings again, go through those 5 senses. What do you notice now? Just pause the recording if you need to, or if you, and then you can always unpause it and finish. But yes, just wanted to remind you of that, because it's important to be able to do. Then you can slow to a walk and either listen to what we're saying here, or say, I've had enough of you, Tina, get on with your day. But yes, my whole running life has been about rewards and accomplishments and everything I do. And I've actually been having a conversation with Chris Gethard, who was on the podcast about a few weeks ago. We've been talking a lot about this off air, in how there's that side of all of us that is always tempted by the success, the wealth, the wins, the whatever it may look like in your life, being better, proving you're enough. And while you may think you've got to the other side, there's always going to be that temptation to go back to that life. And that's kind of what I'm working through right now, is how do I come to peace with being still at a level I can win things, but not even close to where I would need to be if I wanted to make a go at it. And I don't even want to make a go at it, to be honest. But I'm close enough to where it can be hard to not pay attention to that. So there's no answer here, just talking through something I'm working through, and maybe you're working through some version of it in your own running, in another area of your life, or something else. I'm talking about me today because no one's submitted a question yet or a topic, so maybe next time this is where I can be answering your questions and thinking about what you said. If we have any 30-minute people, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to go check out that beam, go get a link, go get some, and thanks for joining me. But for the 45, I've got another 13 and a half minutes, so I'm gonna check in actually few of you commented on the fact that it reminded you to do what the intention of the run was. Although a few of you did say you ended up falling into line with my footsteps. So I'm hoping it isn't going the other way and I'm making you run faster than you normally would. But yeah, keep it easy and keep yourself comfortable. You should be able to feel as though you could respond to me on this run while we're running along together. So on that note, I've really been thinking about why this run together spoke so much, because we have that community aspect of things through the Superstars community, through other groups you're a part of, through conversations we have. And I have done a few runs with other people in the last few months, and they've been amazing. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. But when we tend to run with other people, we just get in conversation, or at least I find I do. And you're talking so fast, like especially if it's someone you haven't seen in a while, that you've got so many things you want to talk about that you don't even have a moment to look around. And I've had some beautiful runs over the years that I've done with friends in these most spectacular places to run. And even though we might stop occasionally to look, which I'm thankful for, especially in my past when I wasn't good at stopping, I just felt I had to do it all in one go. I'm thankful those people did stop me, but still, you miss out on a lot, don't you? Because you're enjoying the company of that person. Just want to pause for a side note. I'm going past the Clydesdales, the Budweiser Clydesdales, and there's 5 of them, and they're just lying on the grass, basking in the sun. It's really cute. You don't often see horses lying down, but there's 5 of them all doing it together right by the fence. Pretty cool. But yeah, so the goal of this is to give us a place where we can do a bit of both. We can feel like we're running together, but sometimes running with people every day is a bit much. And so there is also quiet time to just think and reflect on either what we're going through, or what we're feeling, or what's around us. So on that note, I think I'm going to give us 5 minutes to see if we can do it, where we're just going to run. But what the one thing I want you to do, apologise for the lawnmower, what I just want you to do is try, say as hard as you can, because that makes us grasp too tight. But as with, if you've ever done a meditation, just keep bringing yourself back to this moment, to what you're feeling. By all means reflect, but keep bringing yourself back to the motion of running. Feeling your legs moving, your arms moving, your feet hitting the floor. So let's see if we can do it for 5 minutes, and I'll be honest with you if I did it. Let's see if and we're going to wander. I just want to add that in there. There's no way, if any of you can do this, let me know. There's no way we're going to be able to stay on task the whole time. Our mind is always finding ways to wander. But let's see if we can, if you notice yourself thinking about something else, you're not a failure, you're not useless. Just let go of that thought. I'll get back to you in a minute and go back to thinking about your running, this moment right now. So let's start. 5 minutes now. You've wandered off. Bring yourself back in. Just feel your body, feel your arms, your legs, your feet. Breathing. Pay attention to the moment. Feet on the ground, legs, hands, shoulders. Feel the moment. Five minutes can feel like a long time. If you keep wandering off, it's okay. It doesn't make you a failure. The fact you notice, you wonder, is the success. So keep going. Don't grab on too tight. Just let that thought go and get right back to it. All right, 5 minutes. Doesn't that feel like forever? It's hard to concentrate, or not even concentrate, focus, be in the moment for 5 minutes. Our minds are so good at wandering and finding dead time to do stuff with. It's not easy. So well done. And the more we practice this, the better we're going to get at it. 10% happier, no affiliation. I just love the app. It's my daily meditation. Coming right back towards the shirtless singing man, which, by the way, can I remind you, well, I didn't say at the beginning, I guess, but it's under 40 degrees right now, so it's not that warm. But yeah, so let's see if we hear anything, if you've got any songs for us, or if we're just going to be, that was a one-off thing. He just stared at me, so maybe now he thinks I'm the one that's doing something strange. Not that singing is strange. I kind of love that actually. All right, so one thing I did think about, which I shouldn't have been, one thing I did get distracted with is that I've decided we're going to do something together to finish this run. First, I need you to promise me that you'll do it. You promise? Okay. When we finish this run, we're going to do 2 short strides together. So don't panic. It's nothing scary. It doesn't matter what speed. It's all our own speed. We're just going to come to a walk, give ourselves a minute. I'm going to do 2 pickups. Just a little bit faster than you've been running. Nothing intimidating. Doesn't need to be anywhere special, although maybe I wouldn't do it up or down a steep hill. But if you don't have anywhere flat near you, do it as best on the flattest bit you can, even if that means cutting it a bit short. Okay? So yeah, we're going to do that. But as we are coming up on the final few minutes, let's reflect. Take this final minute, work your way through your body, scan down again. How are you feeling? Does anything feel worse than at the beginning? For me, my fingers, the side that's been holding the phone, are cold. Otherwise, I feel okay. What about you? Work your way down, but through your body. How do you feel? And again, as I said last time, if there is something that was bothering you the last time you did this, or has been bothering you all week, that hurts, that aches, is it worth getting it checked out? Is there someone you could go see, talk to, that can help you? It's not fun running in pain. It's not good for our bodies either. You deserve better than this. Alright friends, this is our 45-minute run. So to a walk. If you want to keep going, you can. Maybe you could pause the recording and finish your run and then finish this. But well done. Well done for choosing to do a run with someone, being social. Well done for paying attention to your body, how it feels. Well done for looking at your surroundings and doing your best to be present in the moment. Well done. You could have easily stuck some music in, zoned out, got on with things. You didn't. So be proud of yourself for that and be kind to yourself for any negative emotions that came up. We're going to do some strides in just a minute, but I'm going to give us a minute. You should either still be walking or just standing. Hopefully you're not too tired. I'm hoping, well, I guess if it was meant to be a hard run, but I would imagine most people it's a regular run, in which case it should be easy. We're going to do a few strides. So what that means is just picking up the pace, not a sprint. Like I would say, if your regular run should be, just an easy run should be maybe 50% of your max, this is 70%. That's all we're asking. We're only going to do it for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. If you need to do less, that's okay. If you want to do more, go ahead. Can't say I'll join you, but just going to do a short stride and I'll do it with you, okay? So, don't go crazy, just a stride, not a sprint, okay? Ready? We're going to pick it up together from walk. Ready? And and slowing it down to a walk. And we'll give ourselves a minute. Get your breath back. You can walk, you can stand still. I wouldn't recommend sitting down. You can do anything else. You can scare off pigeons like I just did. I didn't mean to, it just flew away. And then, well, I guess while we're in this time, let's do the senses again. What do you taste? What do you smell? Take a deep breath. What do you hear? What do you see? Now, granted, there's a lot for that one, so you may need to pause if you want to truly take it in. Or maybe just pick a few things that you haven't noticed before. And what do you feel? Feel the blood pumping around your body? Feel the wind? All right, ready to do one more stride and then we'll be done? Okay, we're going to start again in 3, 2, 1. Picking up the pace. At about maximum of what you're going to be. Not max speed, just max for this. And slowing it down. That wasn't so bad, was it? I think the second one was a bit short, but that's okay. Well, friends, and that is our run together. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel so filled up with the idea of us having done that together. And I really love hearing your feedback. This is only the second one, so give me some grace with these. But I'd love any feedback, trying to take in your suggestions from last time. Any topics we can talk about. Yeah, whatever. And remember, go check out beamtlc.com. Use code TINA. Go get yourself some of that. Hydrate. The 3 flavors or 3 purposes are performance, balance, and recovery. Tried all 3. Love all 3. Go check them out. Get the link in this podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Before we end this episode, I just want to take a moment to shout out my podcast editor, Jeremy Nessel, who has done such a wonderful job of looking after my podcast, taking out all the mishaps in the episodes, while still keeping in the vulnerability and the realness and the rawness of the conversation. This is not one of those podcasts where I take out the ums and the ers and the sometimes the delay in words, because I think it's very important to keep that authenticity. We're surrounded by perfected and manicured everything, and I think it's really important that Running for Real stays that way. So thank you to Jeremy for your work. I also want to thank Maria Vargas and Amber Moore, who are also part of my team. They've been a big part of this community and me being able to build this brand. So just want to give them a shout out too. All right, let's get right back to the end of this episode. Sorry to trick you at the end there and make you do some strides. Did you do it? I would love to see if that was the first time you've done strides, if it felt weird doing it together. That was kind of a way for me to test out what it would feel like with us doing a workout together. Just give me some feedback on these runs. I would love to hear what you have to say. It really made me feel so happy, and maybe this is what I'll be doing more of in the coming months rather than bonus episodes, because maybe this is what we need. We need that connection. We need to feel close to one another, even while we're not physically close. So I would love to hear what you thought of the run today, and any topics you want to talk about or any suggestions you have. I'm looking forward to hearing them. Be sure to go to beamtlc.com and use that code TINA to go get yourself some Beam Hydrate. You can get the performance flavor or performance option, I guess, individually, or you can get them as a variety pack with the balance and recovery in there as well, so you can test it out. But I've really been loving Beam, so go to beamtlc.com and use code TINA. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you on Friday for another regular podcast episode. And I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.